Morning to you. Happy Friday. It's Kate Bolt, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in the UK. I'm back for another Fun Friday live. I seem to have chorus going on behind me as well. My dog seems to have decided it's just the perfect time to bark out of the window. What more could you want? Anyway, good morning to you all. I hope you're very well. I am just going to shut my door. Right, no barking now. Oh, happy Friday. I am so pleased it's Friday. I'm just going to give us a minute, see if anybody hops on and joins me for my live. And I am going to check on my YouTube channel to check that I am live in the right place, which it looks like I am, because I think that was a notification. So I am. Tell me if you're watching, where you're from, what kind of a week you've had. I hope it's been good. I hope life has been good to you. Yes, there I am. Let's have mute. I don't want to hear myself twice. Okay, I have my coffee. I hope you've got one. My lovely husband just brought my coffee for me. Yeah, just say hello in the chat if you're with me. And we are going to be having some fun today, because we have got some brand new products in the online shop, online exclusive products, and I have got some of them here. It's called Irresistible Blooms, and it's the Hello Irresistible Suite. Hi Sam, thank you for joining me live. Thank you so much. I am going to be playing with this. It's my stamp set of the week, because I played with it at Coffee and Cards on Tuesday, and we made some of these shatter cards like this, where you just have a little belly band on the card and then you have a secret message inside. I haven't made any for ages, years, and I absolutely love it, and I had great fun making some of these. So that's here on my YouTube channel, the description, the tutorial of how to make that card. Is a lot easier than it looks. So that's there. So have a look at that if you want to know how to make one of those using this beautiful suite. And if you hop over to my website at inkstampshare.ink, all the measurements for making that are over there too. So I thought we'd make something else today. So it's been a busy morning, so I'm kind of winging it. So I hope that you will be kind to me today on this Friday. I am glad it's the end of the week. I am having word finding issues, I'll warn you right now. So this suite is gorgeous, this collection. It's got the beautiful dies that match these stamps. So you can cut out all of the flowers, all of the leaves, curly font, which is really lovely on these gorgeous sentiments. And it's got this splatter stamp as well. Some of these are standalone dies, this circle one, this one, and these leaves. And then the rest cut out the stamps. And then we've got these beautiful papers, which are absolutely gorgeous, and I love them. And what's more, some of the dies cut out the flowers and the leaves, so you can get more for your money. Morning, Sherry, how are you? Look at this. I think this might be my favourite one. Look, so pretty. I hope you're well. And we have officially 2 new returning colours. We have Pretty Peacock, which is in this suite, and Lost Lagoon. So how exciting is that? Look at that. Aren't they beautiful? So we're using those today. Now, incidentally, I was playing around with the dies after I finished on Tuesday on my Coffee and Cards, and I thought, I haven't used this one yet. Let's have a look and see what it does. I had a scrap of cardstock, just a little square, and I cut it out. Look how beautiful it is. So, Sherry, you're well. I'm glad you're well. The paper is beautiful, isn't it? So this is what cuts out of that circular die. It reminds me of, like, I don't know, space. But yeah, so I thought, oh, that's interesting, because it's not obviously to use for a middle. It actually, that's the piece that you would cut out. So I've got a card blank, and I started playing around with it, and that's what we're going to do today. I am going to make the simplest card in history for you, but it's going to be really pretty and one that you can put together really quickly. I've got a basic white thick basic white card base. It's a 10th fold card. So with my A4, I've scored it in half in the middle at 14.8, and then I've cut it in half at 10.5. That's centimeters. So whatever your A4 is, cut and score in half. And then I've taken a piece also of the thick, but you can use normal with basic white, which is 1/2 centimetre smaller there and there. So that is 10 centimetres by 14.3, just to create a nice little layer. And I am going to pop this on, and I'm going to grab my die, that would help. And I'm going to cut this circle out here, and I'm going to try and cut through 2 layers, which could be interesting. Right, I'm going to use some of my seal, which is getting very old, and it's finished. So I'll show you how to refill your seal while we're on the Zoom. If I can find my refill, I've got it out. I've got it out ready, but now I can't find it. Did I? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. So it comes like this. You when you first buy your stamping seal, you get one full one, and then you can buy the refills. So this is how the refill comes in this little packet, like so. Let's open it up and grab it out. So I need this, and it's empty, so I definitely need to refill it. And I love my seal. So it comes like that. And you literally pull it apart. Now, my seal is very gluey and old, or I've got glue all over it. So, yeah, yours wouldn't look like that. Look, ugh. So I'm going to take that out. Now, take note of the way it sits in the case. Like that. Pull it out. Put that in the recycling bin. Yeah, and you're going to put the new one in exactly the same way. Says me. All right, so just pop it in. But take off all the goobers. Do you have gluey goobers on yours? I think it needs a clean. But there we are. I'm going to pop that in. I'm going to pop that in and just push it down. Make sure it's in, and then the top will go on. Like that. And you're away. That's literally all you have to do. Literally it. So, I love my seal. I'm going to use it. Now, it's a permanent adhesive. It's not temporary. But I'm going to use a little bit to start it off. Just the tiniest amount, because I might want to re-pull this off afterwards on there. So I can position it on the front. Because if I don't cut it through both, because it's a very delicate die, it's really only meant to go through one sheet, especially when it's thick, basic white. So I might need to pull it apart and re-die cut. So I'm going to pop it on there like that. I am going to grab a bit of washi tape, which I just threw on the floor. No, I didn't. I keep mine on a little cabana clip and hook it on the side by my Stampin' Up! Cut and Emboss machine, because it keeps it handy. But sometimes it flies around the room. Any old washi, and I'm going to put it there. Now, I've put this bit in the middle so that if it sticks too hard, this is the bit that I'm going to throw away, rather than sticking it on this side. And if I pulled it off and it tore my cardstock, I'd be upset. So on the middle, right, I'm going to pop it through my machine now. See what we get. So has anybody got any good plans for the weekend? Tell me what you're up to. I'd love to know. I'm hoping to do very little. I have to say, I don't think that's going to be the case. It never is it? I'm hoping to have a quiet one. All right, just running it through my machine. Let's see how it cuts. Now, when I cut it last time, I had to do it a couple of times because, as I say, it's a detailed cut. And I'm trying it through 2 sheets of the basic white that's thick. Oh, it did it. Look at that. That is good. So as you can see, this bit I'll just keep as scrap. And it's taken my gluey bit away as well. So I'll keep that and I'll use it for something else. And then we're going to see how well this has cut the delicate bits. Take out all the innards and just pop them out. See how well it's cut it, because it may need to redo it, but it's not quite cut that second layer. I did expect that. Make sure you get the first layer off. Right, Okay, I got the first layer off. Look at all those bits. Now, this is the fun part because we're going to pop it through again. Now, the good thing is because you've die cut this, it just hasn't gone all the way through. You can marry it all up again. So just kind of work out where it was, which you can do just by looking at what you've got. And hang on, let's have a look. There you go. And it fits in because it's like in a little groove because it's where it's cut it and it fits in. So you can feel that. And we can pop it through the machine again. Sherry, you're going skiing with the grandchildren. Oh, that's so cool, Sherry. That's so nice. Where are you going skiing? Do tell us. That's so cool. I don't ski, but I am in awe of those that do. Right, let me just make sure I've got that lined up because we don't want to cut it wrong. There we are. I'll pop it through again. That's very cool. That keeps you fit, doesn't it, skiing? A lot of hard work. So left lots of bits on the die cutting plate there. I'll show you all the bits that pop out. All these bits. There we go. And they can get popped into my bin. So with one layer, absolutely no problem at all. So there we have it. Now, you could just make your card and have it like this, but I don't feel it's quite as robust for a card, especially to stand up. And it stands up nicely, but, you know, I felt it needed the 2 layers just to make it feel a bit more solid, a bit more robust. So hence, that's why I cut out 2 layers exactly the same. You're going to a ski club about an hour away. Oh, it just sounds divine. Oh, have a lovely time, won't you? I think that sounds so nice. Okay. Right, and then we're going to glue this on and we're going to marry up all these little bits. So I do like my liquid glue, especially when you've got to move it a little tiny bit, just a little bit. And Tombow gives you that wriggle room just for a few seconds. I haven't used it today and it's bunged up. Oh, here we go. Oh, there we are. Oh, suddenly it'll pour out. That's it. So on all the kind of large blank spots, and I'm not going to put glue. I might put a couple of dots there and there, and that's it. And it should work. So let's marry it all together. A lot of white on white going on. But you can just match it all up like that. Make sure it's on correctly and you have got the base of your card. How pretty is that? So, but we want to make this pop now. I'm going to grab my coffee as well. Skiing, that's amazing. I'm spending most of my time at the moment trying to keep out of the cold. Although I think if I had the opportunity to go skiing, that would be different. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? So I'm going to grab some of the designer series paper and we're going to choose some to put aside. And I really like some of this pretty peacock kind of colour. So let's have a look. Or I might go for that really pretty one that I was talking about just now. And then I'll show you the other colour I made afterwards and you can tell me which you prefer. Now, I just used a scrap that I had for my last card. Now, I have got some scraps, but I don't have anything quite big enough, I don't think. Oh, I've got this piece. So you can see, if you pop it in, what a difference it makes. It's so lovely. But I think I want to try this. How pretty is that? It's so nice. So I think I'm going to use that. So I think I'll use the size of the inside which is 10 by 14.3. Same as the size of my layer. Yes, you're absolutely right, Sam. We have all across the UK, we have been, I can't believe it's March and we've been threatened with snow next week. I've been reading, we have a local weather forecast that is always spot on. I don't know how he does it. He's amazing. And he has been reporting every day and he's saying the systems are looking so interesting and he's putting all this stuff up about it. And that these low pressures or low systems that might collide and converge across the UK may bring us all snow. Oh, no. I'm seeing all the spring flowers and I'm not really, I'm now like over winter. I do love snow and I love a snow day, but I'm over winter. Oh, that's so pretty. Look at that. Oh, I'm so glad I did that. Now I'm winging it today. I hope you can put up with me winging it, but I do love it when a plan comes together. That colour's so pretty too. So I will tell you about this suite. It's part of what Stampin' Up! Have called online exclusives. Now we are traditionally a catalogue company with some online things as well. We now sell a whole kits collection as just online and it's not published in the catalogue. But we are now going forward with some online exclusives and this suite is part of it, which means that if you go into my online shop, you'll see a banner at the top that says online exclusives. It means that it's not in the catalogue. There's loads of goodies that you can shop online for now, some new ones. And this is part of it. But we've also got some other things. We've got some gorgeous rhino stamps. We have, what have we got, guys? We've got loads of things. We've got this suite. We've got a beautiful tropical punch and stamp set bundle. And we have got these bad boys have come back in my online shop. And I am super excited because our circle punches went away about 2 annual catalogues ago-ish. And I've been waiting for them to come back. And I'm so excited that these two have come back because they are super useful. So they're available in the online exclusives. Yes, so that's how that works. I've got a mark on there. Is it glue? We'll soon find out. Let's use my glue rubber. Yes, it is. There. No more. There we go. Right. You're expecting 15 centimetres snow in Ontario and you're not done with winter yet. Wow. What's the temperatures like with you in the summer and the spring, Sherry? I'd love to know. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do some stamping. So did I get my ink pad out? I'm pretty sure I did. I still had my pretty peacock one. And this is my petal pink. Not that you'd know it because it has faded in the light. I have an issue with the petal pink, and we used to have a colour years ago called Pink Pirouette, and both the cases of these pinks fade, and they're not in the direct sunlight. Not one of my other stamp set lids fade at all. So I'm not worried. It doesn't hurt my inks, you know. They're not in the heat or anything like that. So that's why that looks like that. Okay, now I think I'm going to do another thank you. I need some thank yous because I've got to send some customer thank yous out and I want to make some cards for it. So I've got I like you. I couldn't be happier to have you as my friend. Hooray, it's your day, which is great for a birthday. Hello. I think I used these in my shutter card. Hello, hooray, it's your day. And then we've got this lovely thank you that I'm going to use because I've got some customer thank yous to send out. And these would be really quick cards to make that are still really pretty. And I hope they like them. Oh, I've put my blocks out of reach. I thought I trained myself to stop doing that. I always put them across the other side of the table in a neat little box. Yeah, it's no good when you've got the camera going. Okay, so I've got this scrap of cardstock and I'm going to stamp it on here. Do you keep your scraps? Yeah, Sherry, what's it like in the summer, in the sort of May, June time? I'd love to know. Because that's when our weather picks up. Probably around the end of May. we start to get about 20 degrees. Sometimes we get it earlier, but that's if we're lucky. So I'm not sure how juicy this ink pad is. I haven't re-inked it in a while, so let's give it a go. Yeah, that's not bad. It could do with being a bit juicier, couldn't it? All right, let's grab my Petal Pink re-inker. Right, where are you, Petal Pink? Here it is. Have I used it? I think I have. I'm not sure. So I'll show you how I re-ink my ink pads. This may be useful to somebody. So summer is usually hot and muggy, around 25 to 30, but heat wave it goes up to 40. Spring is beautiful with temperatures in the 20s. Oh, it sounds perfect. See, I would put up with winter being long and snow if by sort of April, May, we had temperatures in the 20s consistently. But I remember going on holiday when the children were small, just in the May break. The children have a week off at the end of May, the May half-term holidays. We always used to take them to Devon and take a little week's break in a cottage down there. And we'd normally get miserable weather the first half of the week. And by the time sort of the 1st of June is coming in, we'd always get a couple of really nice sunny days. And that just makes me, you know, I know that that's when the weather changes properly. Seems a long time to wait. But it's coming. Sometimes we get hot temperatures in March, though. You never know. So I am adding the ink to my ink pad in kind of little lines like this. And I know everyone does this differently and do what works. And then I'm going back the other way. I'm squeezing my re-inker. It really does hardly use any of it. Like that. And then I'm using an old loyalty card that doesn't work anymore from a store. And I'm just pulling it one way and then the other and then the other. And then I'm evening it out. Now, I would normally like to do this about an hour or so before I start my crafting, because when you then shut your ink pad, it keeps this piece upside down and brings all the ink to the surface ready for stamping, which is why our ink pads are designed like that. Okay, let's see if that makes a difference. Let's compare it, shall we? Not hugely better, but a bit better. I think it needs a lot more ink on there. Let's ink it up a bit more. I don't think I've ever re-inked this ink pad. And talking of re-inkers, you never know when your ink pad's going to need re-inking until you come to it and it needs the re-inking, obviously. Does that make sense? And it's then that you realise that you don't have the re-inker. And you don't have the re-inker, and you don't want to spend, I don't know, however much that is. It's hardly any money. These are really cost effective. And to pay all that P&P just for one item, do you? So you wait till your next order and you put your re-inker on it. By that time, you had to wait a long time to get your re-inker. I'm just saying, I know this because it has happened. So my advice to you is, when you buy your ink pad, buy your re-inker, because then you're always going to be fine. And also, on that note, our 2021 to 2023, is that right? In colours, yeah, will be retiring soon. So if you have the ink pads for those, but you don't have the re-inkers, they sell out very fast. So if you would like those lovely ink pads to last you forever, make sure, that's not a promise, they won't last forever, but you know what I mean, quite a long time. Make sure you grab your re-inker on your next order, because they will go. Okay, so I'm going to use my snips. You do not need to fussy cut your words, but I'm going to, because I like doing it. but you could not do that. You could just cut them out using a label die or a label punch, or just cut them out in a rectangle. And also, I don't like that word fussy cut. Oh, cutting out, because it makes it sound something really annoying. So I am cutting out my words. But we all use that, don't we? We always use that term. Right, so just go around them. And I worked out that if I kind of just come in and go around here, keep going around. So when you're doing this kind of cutting, leave a little edge, a little border, a little white one around your letter, and move the card, the paper, not your scissors. And it will go much easier. How is that? Or you could use the Charming Sentiments bundle. I love that. It's a bundle with a stamp set, and you've probably seen me using it loads of times, and a die that goes with it, and it makes it look like you've cut out all of your sentiments by hand. But it's a die. And it's got really useful ones in it, and some extras. It's got like little candles and hearts and stars and all that shebang. Good for your stash, that one. Right, here we go. There we are. Yeah, we're going to get really cold weather next week. I might even have to light my fire. We have a coal fire in our living room. It's not function. Well, it functions, but what I mean is I don't need to have it. We have a central heating system, but we use it on occasion. And it's really rather nice. We've hardly used it at all this winter, though, to be fair. There is a reason why I've hardly used it, though. We downgraded our coal bunker. That's a coal storage container, to one that's now outside and much cleaner, but it's much smaller. And then we realised that our coal delivery man doesn't deliver that amount of coal. It's too small for him, which then means a trip to somewhere else. Hence, we haven't done it yet. Right, I got my thank you and I've cut it out. I'm going to pop it on here. And this is going to be the quickest card you've ever seen in living history. Probably. Grabbing some sticky foam pads, which I got out ready and now can't see. Here they are. I've got the large ones, or the normal size ones, and the mini ones. And I'm going to stick it on the side here. That's where I tried my stamp out. Now, when you're sticking this down, you've got this open piece here, so you don't want to stick it there because you're going to stick your card shut. So it might be worth just sticking the dimensional onto the card itself rather than the sentiment, and then you can see exactly where it's going to go. And I'm going to use another one just to give it a bit more sticky, because I've only got one on there. Oh, I've got that stuck in there because I've hardly opened these. Ooh, pull it out. Right, I'm going to put that one down here just to give it a little bit more adhesive. And then pop it on there like that. Now I've got thank you. And that is my card. Now I could put some bling on there, but I've got, when I made the original, I fell in love with all the white space and the cleanness of this card. I just like it the way it is. You can embellish this up to the hilt if you wanted to. Now, the only other thing is, I thought about this. Where are you going to write your sentiment? So there are two options here. You can write it here. You've got plenty of space to write here. or you can write here, and I would probably write on the back of the card. And it's a white card, you can just write straight onto it, or you could put a die cut on here and write on there. I would probably just write on it. So we've got thank you, but this was my original that I played with, and this one is in the Pretty Peacock. But the papers are doing all the talking here. This is the scrap I had left over when I cut a piece up. So I used it to line my card, and this one I've done the full lining. So I hope you enjoyed that one. I am going to have another go. I had an idea of what to do next. So we're going to have one more card. Yeah, so this is just using these funny, I don't know what you call these dies. So obviously these are flowers, but these ones, I've done lots of projects using these now. I don't think I've used these leaves, but I've used all the rest. And I love how they cut the flowers out. So as you can see in this shutter card, you can use the die to cut out the flowers and the leaves from the paper. I use the stylish shapes for these stitch circles. So I think I'm going to play with this one here. Right, so we're going to have a quick look at this one, because I like to get the best use I can out of a bundle. When I purchase one, I like to think of all the different uses I've got I can use it for, because I like to make it work. If you're going to invest in it, you need it to work for you. Now, here we go. So I've got another white card base. Still not sure if I'm going to use white for this one. I might use pink. It doesn't really matter. I picked out a piece of pink, so I might use that as my layer. And then that's petal pink. Then I've been through this beautiful paper. Now, this is the die with the funny holes like this. And I was looking through this paper, and there is paper to match. So if you look at this one, it matches the die shape. And there's one in the pink somewhere there. I think I pulled it out. Yeah, so many pretty papers. So the pinks and the yellows are gorgeous. Okay, so right, I'll decide in a minute what I'm going to do. So I looked at the size of a card base for this die. So if you put it on a regular card base and you cut this out, it went off the edge slightly because it's a little bit longer. Now I just need to make my card base slightly longer and we'd be fine. But otherwise you just end up with strips, tiny strips that don't do anything. It doesn't work. It's just too small. Let me show you. If I grab a piece and make it the right size, if I find my trimmer. Oh, there it is. Right, and I'll show you what I mean, just so you don't do the same thing. So make it the right size. So the front would be, that's okay. So if I make this 14.8, which would be a full card size. So pretend that's your card front. And then I'm going to put this on here, and I'm going to run it through the machine, and we'll see what happens with it. Grab a bit of washi. The dies are amazing, aren't they? They're fabulous. I think they're really versatile that they've got these other bits. So, it would help if it actually stuck down. So, if I put that through, I'll show you what I mean. This is going to be fun. So this is what we end up with if the die is just slightly too large for the piece of card or paper you're using. Okay, you end up with this. Okay, you end up with this. I think you end up with this anyway. I think this is what you end up with. because I think I had my piece of paper actually was even smaller last time, and it actually cut off these joined areas. So I didn't end up with this joined piece. This is the die. This is what you will always end up with, this joined piece. But when I did it before, it was even shorter. So I didn't have these joined pieces on the end, and I ended up with just strips. So just be aware of that, okay? So what you're going to end up with is that piece from this die. So when you cut this one out, it was attached, yeah, like that. But when you cut this one out, I thought it would leave a hole in the card, but it actually cuts it out and you end up with this piece, which is fabulous, because I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with it. Oh, I think anyway, let's hope. So I've got my card base. I've got a piece of pink that I might use for my layer. Or I might not. And then I've got a piece of this. This is the pink one, but it means I've got a very monochrome card if I do this, like that. But it is pretty. Or we could do, I don't think I've got any pretty peacock cardstock until we get some in the shop, which I imagine it will be when the new catalogue comes out in May. So there's that, and there's that, which is really pretty. And I think we might go for that. I might go for that. Let's see, how big is this punch? Punch is there. Oh, that's even slightly too small for that, thank you. That's interesting, but it'll be good for something else. Okay, I'm just deciding what I'm going to do. What I might do is go pretty peacock, and that will work. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to keep, I really love this. I am going to find a piece of this in a different pattern. We've got some really nice muted ones. I think I'm going to use that one. Let's show it. Yeah, I'm going to use that one. I'm going to save that pattern to recreate this card another time. So my first layer is going to be this designer series paper. Morning, Carol. How are you? Thank you for joining me. We're playing with the Hello Irresistible suite, or Irresistible Blooms as the Stampin' Die set are known. 14.3 by 10 is my layer. Oh, do you know what? That's a perfect shout, Sherry. That is a brilliant shout. You've seen other demos use the soft succulent colour to coordinate. Oh my God, what a brilliant shout that would be. We could definitely go with that. Have I got any though? I've got loads of mint. Yeah, I have soft succulent. Let's have a look and see what that would look like. I think that would be perfect, you know. It's one of my favourite greens. I'm hoping that this stays with us. Right, okay, so we've got that one. I think, because I'm going to use Pretty Peacock, I'm going to stick with the one I've got. But that would be absolutely ideal. Wouldn't it go really well with this? Because this actually does look like a soft succulent layer, even though it's Pretty Peacock and mint and things. Yeah. Oh, I'm all right, Carol. Thank you very much. Excuse me. It's a great set, isn't it? I love it. So I'm going to glue that down. Absolutely love it. Oh, it also comes with these dots. I'll show you those in a minute. They're to die for. Right, I'm going to glue this down using my seal, which I'm going to regret. No, I'm going to use my wet glue. Oh, I like the wet glue for layers because sometimes, especially on a Friday, I don't get things right first time. And my layer might be skewy. But if you use your wet glue, you've got that minute to move it about. Lovely, 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 lovely. So my first layer on my card base is 10 by 14.3 centimeters. And this one is going to be 9.5 because I'm taking half a centimeter away. And I'm going to keep all these strips by 13.8 centimeters. So I've taken another half from that side. So all I've got then is that nice kind of suggestion of the pretty peacock and some of the daffodil delight going on in that border. That's going to go on. Oh, look at that. How pretty is this? How pretty are these papers? They are so lovely. Wouldn't this look nice, this side of paper with the daffodil dies? I might have to make a daffodil card. It's been on my mind for a few days. I think it's because it was St. David's Day at the beginning of the week, and I've had daffodils in the house for a few weeks now because they sell them locally in all the supermarkets or all over the UK really as soon as they come out in end of February, beginning of March. I've had them for weeks, and they sell them for £1 a bunch. So everyone in the UK says it usually gets their bunch of sunshine. Is it slightly too long for my card? I might have to cut it. I want it to fit on. This might have been how I ended up cutting it too small before. And I ended up with many strips of nothingness. Okay, so I am going to cut it. I'm going to cut it just below this big spot here, and I'm going to take my scissors to it. I'm being brave. Right, okay, so now it's going to fit. Oh, yes, I like that. Make sure you've got none of these little bits left in there. Use your pokey tool, or if you've got your scissors to hand, whatever. There we are. That's going to go on there. I really like that. Now, I've got to decide what I'm going to do. Now, I do need a few thank you cards. You may or may not. So obviously make the card what you'd like. I really like the hello, and that would fit on that circle there. I don't think the thank you will fit. It's very large. So I'm thinking about it. I might go for that with how big? So that was that the 1 3/4 inch punch, which is now available again. I'm so excited about the punches being available. It doesn't take much to excite me. Yeah, that's, can I cut that out of there? Probably, but won't really show up. Tone on tone. I can just about punch a 2-inch circle out of that piece that's left. Look how close that is to the edge. Okay. I've definitely got a piece of pretty peacock scrap. I know I have. But I want you to be able to create this as well if you want. So if you've still got your pretty peacock, or use evening evergreen, use the soft succulent, because that really works, like we just said. Use whatever you've got. But I know that this is going to be coming back. So, what am I putting? I'm putting hello. That's a very large block for that tiny stamp. And you can tell because it wobbles and it doesn't sit very well. That's when you know that you've got too big a block and you're in danger of getting ink around the edge. So don't do as I do as I say, and try and keep your stamp the right size, your block the right size for your stamps. Oh, look at that. Hello. That's so pretty, isn't it? Such a simple one. I wish they'd given us some of those funny circles. So I'm going to use these. I haven't used this yet, this splodgy ones. I am a sucker for a splatter stamp. We have a few currently, and they're always well used in my stash. So I'll show you how to put the stickers on your stamps if you like, because I haven't done that. Right, take the backing off the stamp. Take your sticker sheet, and if you look in the light, each sticker has 2 halves to it, and you can either take one off at a time or both before you stick your stamp on. I like to do both. Now, when this is a word stamp, it's very important you get it exactly right if you can, or as close as you can, because you can't get them off once they're on. You try and pull it off, you'll end up with pulling off the rubber, the foam off here. So it's not so much a problem with an image. Right, I'm going to just place it on one side and then bring it all the way around and stick it on here. Now it's stuck to your sheet, okay? But if you pull it off, you've got your sticker stuck on. There you go. Now I just need to get another block from over there. Oh my word. And it makes a terrible clattery sound. So. Oh, it's such a lovely set, Sam. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous set. So I think, have I got any scrappy paper? Yeah. Although I've already got marks on this one. Let's just go for it. I think I am going to stamp some of the pink on this. And I could have stamped it beforehand because the colour I've used is very bright. So I'm going to stamp off. And just, oh, I love that splatter. Look at that. Oh, can you see it? It's very faint, but it now echoes the designer series paper that I've used. And I think what I'm going to do is use some of the other colour as well. So I've got Pretty Peacock going on. You can use whatever colour you've got. Look at my chamois. That's after it's been through the washing machine. So don't worry about that. It's meant to look like that. It means it's loved. Okay, so I'm going to go for Pretty Peacock, and I think I'm going to stamp it off twice because this is a really juicy ink pad. So stamp off, and then I'm going to stamp on there because you can still see it perfectly well, but it's just not quite so in your face. Yeah, and I might put more of the pink on, I think. So clean it again. I think I might still make this into a thank you card and put thank you inside. That would work, wouldn't it? So stamp off. Now, if you do too much, you end up, it looks a bit muddy. So there we go. Got our hello. We've got our Pretty Peacock stamped off. And now it echoes that like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this one on first. I'm going to use some liquid glue, and I'm going to see these large circle areas. I am going to put a little tiny dot on those and anchor it a tiny bit. You don't need much, otherwise you're going to end up with glue everywhere. That'll do. Do it on the outside edge pieces, you know, the bottom and top pieces to anchor it, definitely. There we are. Right. And then we're going to pop it down. I really like this die cut. And you can make it straight. Just hold it for a minute. And then it should stick down quite well. How cool is that? I really like that. You could do it in a contrasting colour as well. That would be really pretty. So I'm going to pop this on with some sticky foam pads. So a couple here. Oh, actually, I tell you what, should I stick that flat? Yeah, So I think I'll stick that flat first. So put the glue on the back of the hello. Hello. Oh, I'm so pleased to see the circle punches back. Doesn't it make crafting fun when you can get your punches out and use them all the time? Because I love my die cutting machine, but it's just liberating to get a punch out now and again, don't you think? And you can combine them with your dies, can't you? So we've got hello. This is a very simple card. I think I'm going to put the hello there. And then I'm going to show you these lovelies. Look at these lovelies. Just move all this gubbins out of the way. There's too much of it. There's got a lot of rubbish going on. All the bits from the dies. Right, okay. Let's show you these lovelies. But hold your breath because these are small. Look, ready? Aren't these gorgeous? These are the loose frosted dots and they are so pretty. Look at them. Look, I'm going to regret that, aren't I? Let's put the rest back in there. So much fun. Okay, so they come in 3 sizes and you've got Flirty Flamingo, you've got Pretty Peacock, and you've got Daffodil Delight. I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool to pick these up with, and I'm going to think about where I'm going to put them. But I think I'm going to use some Pretty Peacock. I'm going to use all the colours. Or shall I use one? Let's have a think. Oh, I like the pink. It brings the pink of this pink out. So I might go with those. Oops. So I might go with pink. As I say, there's 3 different color sizes. There's the tiny one. Ooh. If I can get it to come out, will be good. That is lovely. There's also the yellow. Let's have a look at that. That's nice as well. Pink or yellow, guys? Which of the frosted dots shall I use? Could you tell me? Shall I use pink or yellow to place on there? There's the yellow ones. Pink for Carol. Tell me what you think. Pink or yellow? We're going pink at the moment. I'll just wait for you to tell me what you think. So, what do you think? Pink? Let's go for pink. Oh, maybe a mix now. You rebel. Oh, I don't know if I can mix them up. No, I mixed them up on my other project the other day. I put Pretty Peacock and pink, Flirty Flamingo. So maybe if I'm feeling brave, I'm using my Take Your Pick tool with the putty end, which is really helpful to decide what I'm going to do with it. Yeah, I'm going to put the pink on there. Let's use some liquid glue. I'm going to put a pink one here. A medium-sized one. Stay there. And I think I'm going to put another pink one there. And then another pink one there. And the glue dries clear, thank goodness. think I've got any putty coming out of that. I think I need to change that one. There we go. So we've got those on there. And then let's think about the yellows. Yellows, where are you going to be? I think I'm going to put a yellow one next to it. No, this is a bit daring for me. I'm going to put a small yellow one. There. And I'll scatter some more. One there. One there. And then a little one, a little yellow one can go up here in the middle. Honestly, just plonk one. Don't overthink it like I just did. You'd be there all day. There we go. Because the less contrived they are, the better it always looks, I think. There we go. They are gorgeous. Those are the loose frosted dots, and they come in this collection as well. So there's our hello. Now I'm going to put the thank you inside because I want it to be a thank you card, just because I need a few of those. I was making loads of thank you cards a while ago. I seem to be making lots of them, and then I thought, I seem to be doing loads of those and nothing else. So I haven't made any in ages, and ran out. So let's get the Pretty Peacock ink wherever it's gone. There it is. And we're going to put thank you inside. Oh, you're off to work, Sherry. You're going to catch the rest on replay. You like the cards. Have a great week, everyone. Weekend. You have a great weekend too. Don't work too hard. Thank you so much for watching, Sherry. Thank you very much for joining us live. We are nearly done. I'm kind of overrunning today because I'm feeling a bit demob happy, if you know what I mean, because it's Friday. But I'm almost done, so I haven't missed too much. So I've got the thank you inside. There we go. Now, that's that. Now, if you are feeling fun, which I always am, take your envelopes. Stampin' Up! Envelopes are gorgeous. They're so good, such good quality. Take your envelope, grab your spare piece, and I'm going to see if I can fit it on. It almost fits, so I'm going to go with it and make it work because I'm sure it's, it's not so bad. I am going to put some glue on the envelope, just on the flap, like that. And I'm going to put that on there. Now I'm going to be careful that I don't go over the crease line because I still need my envelope to close. So do that with it. And I'm going to grab our snips. I'm going to cut the excess off. So you've got a pretty envelope because everyone loves Happy Mail, right? Excuse me. Happy Mail is just the best. And we need to send more Happy Mail, guys. So decorate your envelopes. If you haven't stamped on them, put that scrap piece of designer series paper on it. Give it a lease of life because your envelope will match your card. And how pretty would that be to come through the post like that? So that's that. Now, there is one other thing I want to do. I want to add... Is this my Wink of Stella? I think it is. Some Wink of Stella. Can you see that? It's glittery. If you've not had Wink of Stella, it's like a liquid little solution in a brush pen that gives this shimmery effect. It's not glitter, but it gives a glisten effect, and it's clear, but it goes on kind of shiny. And I'm going to add it to this die cut because I think it's a really simple way to step it up. And the only problem is you can't really see the effect on the camera, but it's really pretty. It's a really simple way to add a little bit of shimmer and shine Can you see it? I'm not sure. A little bit of shimmer and shine to a card. But it's not too much glitter and glisten. Now, I am going to make an apology to you guys. I have just lost charge in my laptop, so I can't see the comments anymore. I'm almost finished. So I don't, for some reason, they're not coming up on my, let me see if I can see them. Live chat. It says messages are visible. Oh, here we go. We all have to go outside our comfort zone sometimes, don't we, Sam? Yeah, that's right. I can just about see where my tripod is. I have clamped it right over where the messages come up because I wasn't counting on using my camera to look at the messages. So if I miss any of them, I am sorry, and I will try and come back to them. So yeah, it's really pretty, that. With a bit of Wink of Stella on there. Just leaves a little bit of shimmer and shine, and it makes that, because this is the same design, it's hard to see on the camera, but it makes it pop off the design. So there we go, there's our card. And here is, let's move all this rubbish out of the way. Here is the one that I made earlier. And here's my sample. So we've made a few. I might put some gems on here. I'm thinking about that now. So I will probably put some of those on there and pop them on Instagram. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you might be tempted to play with the Hello Irresistible Suite. It's called Irresistible Blooms. So ladies, thank you for joining me today. If you've joined me live, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And if you've joined me on replay, thank you for watching, and do say hello from Tomorrowland and let me know where you're from and how you're going. Tell me if you like the cards and which one you like the best. I'd like to know. That would be really useful. Thank you. If you like any of the products I've used, they are available right now in my online shop at katebolt.stampinup.net, and you can find loads more inspiration and links to everything I do over on my website, which is inkstampshare.ink. I will see you next Tuesday live, 1 p.m. for Coffee and Cards. I'll see you here. So thanks for joining me, guys. If I've missed any of your comments, I do apologise, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.